back to the channel. A driving video today. It's been a little while since I've made one of these videos. I haven't really been anywhere exciting. It's been mostly work and general life duties over the past few weeks. But I've taken the day off work today. Just to show myself what I could be doing if I wasn't working, I guess. And I'm going for a walk on the edge of the Yorkshire Dales, beyond Pateley Bridge, up near a couple of villages called Lofthouse and Middlesmore. It's in the very eastern part of the Dales. It's the part of the Dales that never actually made it into the Yorkshire Dales National Park when it was established, because it was in a different county. And there's some stunning scenery. It's a huge swathe of land that's not in the national park. Fortunately, in recent years, it's become an area of outstanding natural beauty, and I would hope that one day it would just become part of the Yorkshire Dales National Park, because geographically it's one and the same. I'm not sure if I've ever done this part of the journey. This is a sort of, there's lots of ways to get to the Dales. This is one of the ways I come to avoid going through Leeds. I've just come from along, call it Harewood Avenue. It's actually, I think, the A659. Goes to Otley this way. That's Harewood House there. 8 miles to Otley. We're not actually going to Otley. We turn off and we go across the moors towards Pateley Bridge, and then beyond Pateley Bridge up towards Middlesmore. Where we're going today is, and will be subject of its own video, we're going to somewhere called Scar House Reservoir. This is Wharfedale that you can see in front of you. Going down towards Wetherby and Tadcaster if you go right, and then up towards Otley if you go left, and then Ilkley and Bolton Abbey and Grassington beyond that. Yeah, we're going to Scar House Reservoir. It's over there somewhere. It's high in the Pennines. There are 3 reservoirs that I think were built to serve Bradford. I don't know whether they were built in Victorian or, I'm guessing it was Edwardian times. The nearest one to Pateley Bridge, I think, is called Gouthwaite Reservoir. We'll drive past that. It's not a very pleasant drive. It's a very twisty and narrow road. And then we come to these 2 villages, Lofthouse and Middlesmore, and I think I've just looked it up actually on Google, because it's so long since I've been. It says just past Lofthouse on the way to Middlesmore, turn right in 100 yards onto a private Yorkshire Waterways or Yorkshire Water Road. That then takes you for a few miles, and that takes you up to Scar House Reservoir. There's a walk I think you can do around Scar House Reservoir. I've never done it. And there's a walk you can do that goes around the next one as well. But that might be too much for today, because I've brought the new puppy with me for her. Well, I suppose this is her first proper country hike up in the Dales type of a place. So after we've gone round Scar House Reservoir, I might have had enough. I'm sure she won't, but I might. Yeah, the next one, the furthest one, is Angram. So there's Angram right up in the hills, then there's Scar House, and then there's Gouthwaite, then you come to Pateley Bridge. So I couldn't remember whether we'd actually done this first section of this drive. So I thought I'd start the video rolling just before we got into Harewood. I always think it's like a little back way into the Dales. Red kite up there, I don't know if you can see it. I think one of the most successful bird reintroduction programmes this country's ever known. They were reintroduced, I think, at the Harewood Estate and other places not so long ago. I think they were either extinct or almost extinct after being hunted. I think we must be the only species on the planet that can take that title, can't we? That we hunt other species to extinction. Shouldn't we be proud of what we've achieved? We are the hunters to extinction. Trying to keep my speed in check. Just passed a speed camera, one of the mobile vans in Collingham, squat away at the side of the road in a 30, and I think people do speed through there, and there's a school and there's sports fields. So it's just, somebody once pointed out to me, it's not something that's going away, is it, the technology regarding speeding. In fact, it's just going to get easier and easier for the police and local authorities to catch you speeding as technology improves. So there is just one answer. Best not to. So yeah, it's a bit of a trek. Well, the sat nav, can you believe it? I've put Middlesmore, which is the nearest village to where we're going. It's about 3 miles from where we're going. I've put Middlesmore in the sat nav, and it's telling me it's 25 miles from here. So we're just to the north of Leeds. We're about 8 miles north of Leeds. So that gives you an idea how close the Dales are to the city. However, it's saying that it's at least an hour there. Well, 56 minutes, but that's not to Scar House Reservoir, so it's at least an hour to where we're going, and it's only 25 miles. That's because it's mostly on roads like this, but that's not so bad. I don't think for the video it's good for a video. So stick with it if you can. It's the scenery only gets better. this is Poole in Wharfedale, midway between, well, not quite midway, but midway-ish between Wetherby and Otley on the River Wharf. I think I have videoed this before, because I remember saying if you go left and up the hill, you come to Leeds and Bradford Airport. If you go right in about 8 miles or so, you come to Harewood. Go left here, I think, if you were going to no, not left there. Next left if you were going to Otley, and then on to Skipton, and then all points northwest, Ingleton, Lake District. So we've crossed the wharf, as in Wharfedale, and the next one we'll come to is the River Nid, as in Nidderdale. Chevy on the left, I'm not sure if you can just make little glimpses of it out. Tricky little bridge here. It's one of these that says you've got the right of way, but you often meet somebody in the middle. Yeah, so Scar House Reservoir. It's a beautiful area, and I used to come up here a lot. I'll probably talk about it more in the actually walking video, but sort of in the 80s, because as I say we're like 22 miles now from there, so I used to work with some friends in Leeds, and we'd often finish work on I don't know if it was a Friday, but we must have been off the next day. We used to finish work 4 o'clock, jump in the cars, and we'd be up here by just after 5, and it was light till 9, so we used to go walking, and we went through a phase of exploring caves, and there's a lot of those in this area, and we'd have a great evening. Back to the cars for 10 o'clock. I don't know if it was on a weekend, maybe home and bed and work again the next day. We do the same sort of thing, but usually ended up in a pub, so I think that would have been at the weekend. So yeah, I went through a phase of being up here very frequently. I say, it was way back in the 1980s. So much so that I can remember Scar House Reservoir, but I can't remember a great deal about how to get to it from these little villages of Lofthouse and Middlesbrough, which is why I checked it on Google to have some idea of how to get there. I thought I was right. I thought I was turning there, but couldn't see the sign. It's obscured by trees. Flying. I think the fella in the camper van actually came out of his seat. It looked as if he did. Oh dear. Maybe it's just me. I think I need some coffee. One thing about videoing your journey and now adding to the mix a dog and adding to the mix the 60-something bloke who frequently needs the loo is that journeys aren't a quick thing anymore. You know, I said we used to finish work and be up here in an hour, and that was it. Jump in the cars, boom, we'd be there. And then now, from home, it said it was about an hour and a half. But I mean, it's going to take me about 2 hours at least to go. And again, I think it was about 40 miles from home. So, and it's going to take me like 2 hours to drive 40 miles. Beautiful sky today. So I'm not sure what to expect. There's a car park when we get there. There are some toilets when we get there. I'm not sure whether it's going to be packed out or whether it's going to be quiet. I've kind of lost touch with the Dales. I do read on social media, and you see some horror stories about places I used to go. I saw one the other week about Malham, and there was like a 7-mile tailback of traffic trying to get into Malham village, and I think when did that happen? Again, we used to just go up there after work, and it's so I'm always a bit of trepidation when I come to the Dales these days, because it's not an area I visit that often. But we'll see when we get there, won't we? One thing about this new dog, I've talked about her in other videos, she's in training, and she was a bit potty when we got her. She's a rescue dog, and she hadn't had the right lots of training, and she was very strong on the lead, and didn't really, sweet dog, but didn't really do what she was told. But the one thing she's been amazing at since the day we got her is travelling in the car. And this is the longest she's ever travelled in the car, so I'm not expecting it to be anything less than brilliant, because that's what she's been ever since I've had her. So that's one thing less to worry about. don't think it's going to be quite as warm as yesterday. It's 18 now, and it's going to be about 24 this afternoon. Got up to about 26, 27 yesterday. But I think today is probably the warmest day of the week after yesterday, because I think it just gets a little bit cooler as the week goes on. I think it's down to about 21. So it's going to be manageable. If we're there for about 11 and have a couple of hours walking, we'll be coming back just as it's getting warm. Me and the dog just need a quick comfort break. So I'll get back to you in just a couple of minutes. Guys, back with you. So I think, I'm not sure. Well, going this way will take us to Pateley Bridge. Don't think this road takes us straight to Pateley Bridge. I think it takes us to a place called, is it Summerbridge, which is just outside Pateley Bridge. Again, it's a great road. It takes you to the A59. And then from the A59 you can get down, follow the A59 down, go to Bolton Abbey, get onto the road that goes up to Skipton and Settle. But carrying on this way, there's a back road that takes you over to Greenhow, and then from Greenhow you can get to Grassington. So, you know, anywhere in the south and eastern Dales you can get to quite comfortably. This way, a couple of reservoirs. Fewston is the one that's down to our left, and I think these reservoirs at this end, I'm not sure they were built to serve Leeds. Disorienting for the dog there, because we got her out of the car in the middle of nowhere by the side of a forest, and I think she was ready to be off. But I'm guessing that's part of the training for long journeys. Long journeys might mean stop, comfort break, drink of water, and then drive again. So she needs to learn that not every time we stop is necessarily going to be for a walk. Scandinavian, doesn't it? Wydra Lane, Wydra. Sounds very Viking, that. North of England, we are in the land of the Vikings. Their presence from 1,000 years ago, it's still with us in a lot of the place names. As are the place names from all the other invaders that have landed on these shores. Okay, going to silent mode while I cross this horrendously dangerous road. That wasn't so bad, was it? I was a little bit worried about making the video on this stretch of road, as there's some sort of a military base to our right. But then I thought, well, I'm driving a car on a public road, going from point A to point B, which is nothing to do with this place, except that I have to drive past it. Surely it's okay to make a video. Well, I'm not even going to say where it is. So we would turn left here where it says Thrust Cross. That's another reservoir. Thrust Cross and Greenhow, 8 miles. It's over on the top of those hills to the left is Greenhow. It's the highest village in England, I think. It used to have a pub for many years. Welcome to Nidderdale. Used to have a lot of lead mining, which is why I think there's a community up there. There's a pub there, I don't know if it's open. It's been variously open and closed over the last 20 or 30 years. It's a long time since I've been down here. There used to be an old mill. We used to come here quite a lot. It was called Pondon Mill. I don't know if they had them all over the country or whether they had a few of them. And they used to sell all the sort of stuff you get in garden centres these days. Scented candles and cards, but they sold bedding and towels and things like that. They had a little cafe. It was a place to come if you wanted an afternoon out. Village of Darley. So it's telling us, oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? Open daily, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Might have to see if Mrs. Gaywalks wants to come out here one day. Oh, here it is, Pondon Mill. I think this was at Darley Mill Centre. Yeah, oh, it's a shame it's closed. It was a thriving business, but times have changed, I guess, and what people want have changed. It's a little bit of a sentimental journey, is this, because my very first dog, my parents had a couple when I was very young, I don't really remember, and then one of them ran away and got run over, and then we never had another dog after that. My dad wouldn't let us get another dog, so I had to wait until I was an adult. My very first dog when I was about 30 was a black Labrador called Ben. It was like all of. I was just totting them up yesterday. The golden Labrador that sat behind me. She's dog number 12 that we've had since we got Ben. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's some flaw in my personality, I don't know, but my life does, without getting too sentimental, my life does feel better. And it has dogs in it. I know that probably won't last forever. And I think this dog in the back might be the last one. Certainly the last one we get so young. But anyway, that's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say was, I got this dog Ben back in, I don't know, 1988, 89, something like that. About a 16-week-old puppy. He went in the footwell. I can still remember it like it's yesterday, and I mean it's forever ago, isn't it? Half a lifetime ago, but I remember he sat in the footwell, and I decided to take him to Scar House Reservoir. I'd seen it on a map. First walk, but that was the first time he went in the Dales with me. We had a little walk, maybe half a mile or so over the dam and onto the moors, and then came back. And it was my companion for walking for the next, my dog companion for walking for the next 16 years. He died just a few weeks before his Revenade Summerbridge. Oh, I've still got it, remembered. And then I think we turned left here towards Pateley Bridge. Yeah, we had him until just short of his 16th birthday. My last Labrador, who I got when she was 5, sadly died a year or so back with cancer. She wasn't very old, she was only about 11. I never brought her. Don't know why I would want to, but I thought I'm going to bring this dog to the same place I brought the other dog. So I'm not a very sentimental person, but allowing myself to be this morning. dates in my head. It was 36 years ago. New York Industrial Estate there. Blimey. It's like a fire station on the right. Through a village called Leeds. It's lovely around here, but I cannot imagine what the house prices must be like. I mean, you're like, I don't know, about 20 minutes into Harrogate, half an hour maybe, I don't know. And as we've discovered, no more than, again, half an hour, 40 minutes into Leeds and Bradford. You could live here. So as I say, I can't imagine what the house prices would be. But what I can't imagine, and I try not to pass any kind of judgment on this channel, but I honestly can't imagine if you could afford to buy a house out here, why on earth would you spend the same kind of money to live in flipping Leeds, particularly Leeds? Why would you want to live in Leeds if you could afford to live here? Let me know in the comments. Maybe you don't like the countryside, maybe you like the city. Yeah, that'd be a reason, wouldn't it? This is how I remember this road. Folks, Pateley Bridge, lovely spot, lovely little spot. We could come to that pub for lunch. I have to look back on the video now to see what it's called, because I've forgotten. And then we can come here and just have a little walk around and a look in the shops. river again. And I think we turn up here. Straight on would take you up Greenhow Hill. Scar House Reservoir. Never realised it's 11 miles from here. Well, we're heading right up into the heart of the hills now. And as I say, my memory of this stretch of road is quite tortuous. Riverside Caravan Park, it's absolutely rammed. If you sat on your table having dinner, it looked like you'd be having dinner with everybody around you. Looked like to be about 3 foot between the caravans and camper vans. It's about 25 years maybe since I've driven on this road. The bridge in. A big water wheel over there. Heathfield Caravan Park. I don't know. I think they allow caravan parks in the Dales National Park, don't they? But I think that's, and I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with me, but one of the reasons this whole area for me couldn't be in the national park is the extra protection that the national park gives the landscape. Just how I remember this road. I didn't realise it was 11 miles like this. But it's not really, it's about 7 miles. So maybe while we're going along the side of, soon we will be anyway, we'll be going along the side of Harewood Reservoir. I was going to set off really early, but I've been just a bit tired this last week, so I was awake last night at 11 o'clock, having fallen asleep about 9:30. Then I woke up about 2 o'clock, then I woke up about 4 o'clock, so by 4 o'clock I thought, there's no way I can get up and come up here at 6 o'clock, so a little bit of a lag in. Chris the Crane, thank you. Oh. My little car has a tendency to stall. Or I have a tendency to stall it. It it's I've done it ever since I've had it. It's just something about the clutch setup. Maybe it's me being so big driving a small car, I don't know, but I do have a tendency to stall it. Sorry folks, just another quick comfort break. So we're just along the side of the reservoir now. You might catch glimpses of it. I must admit, I've had some quite big cars in my time, and I didn't really get a small car for any particular reason other than cost, really. I had a big car that was costing a bit to run and costing a bit to buy. And went to look at cars. A small town car, and I'm quite a tall chap, but I've got used to driving it. So the only disadvantage is, not that this is a car channel, but the only disadvantages I can find with it, it's got a small tank. So if you go in like to north of Scotland or somewhere, it's got about 350 miles range, which that's not the problem actually. The problem is around town you have to do a lot of miles. You're filling it up weekly rather than less frequently. But then the way things have been, it only costs about £40 to fill it up, and you get nearly 400 miles for that, so it's pretty good value. But what I was going to say was, when I come on roads like this, I'm happier these days with a small car. Because let's be fair, non-judgmental, but some people drive like dicks, don't they? And they in vans, in big cars, and they drive like dicks often on roads like this. Some people. So having a small car, it just allows you to hopefully keep out people's way. On the edge of the reservoir there, it looks quite low, so I'm guessing we'll find the same at Scar House. It is the height of summer. We have had a massive amount of rain in the spring though, didn't we? But we haven't had much this summer. Oh, that's good. We're past there. About roads like this, tell this to the locals, because wherever you are in the country, Ramsgill. Lovely little spot this. So remember, we go into Lofthouse, then we're going to follow the signs to Middlesmore, and the turning for the Scar House is about 100 yards out of Lofthouse on the right hand side. Don't let me miss it. Lofthouse and Middlesmore, Lofthouse 2 miles. We're getting there, folks, we're nearly there. This poor dog, I think she's wondering what's going on. I'm guessing it's just a case of getting the fact that a long journey like this, once she's done it in her mind, long journey like this, few comfort breaks, early in the morning, that means we're going somewhere for a walk, so she might not be as confused the next time. Harewood Borough Council. This is, it says so on the bins. So they paid a council tax to. Not so bad either. It's partially cloudy, so it's 19 now. So I don't like walking on the open moors when it's clear blue skies and baking sun. It's quite exposed. This is why I don't come so often. It is a bit of a trek in it to say you're only going like 30 miles. It'd be nice to stay around here though. There's a lot of awful lot of good walking. Lofthouse. Even though it's close to home, it'd be, I think it'd be still nice to have a week's holiday. Village up on the hill there. Massam, 10.25 via steep hill. Shall we go home that way? Want to go home a different way? I'll make another driving video if I've still got any battery left. Howstein Gorge. Came on a school trip here many years ago. Signpost for Scar House Reservoir. Here we go, folks. Property of Yorkshire Water. Been in the papers for all the wrong reasons, haven't they? Paying the shareholders, dumping sewage in our rivers. And there's the local fire station, retained fire station there. But one thing, and this isn't due to these corporate companies that we now have, it's a throwback to when it was a national body, but they own vast swathes of the countryside and they give access to that land. So in Yorkshire, it's the only place I know, but there's some amazing places that are on Yorkshire water land, this being one of them. There used to be a charge for parking when I used to come before, but I looked on the internet, I'm sure it said it was free. So we used to come here because we went through a phase when we were walking. The Alfred Wainwright books, the Lake District ones, but he did some Yorkshire ones. We used to take one of those with us, and Wainwright, when he was a younger fellow, he used to go, oh yeah, go into this cave with your torch and have a look round, and we started doing that. And we took torches, followed in his footsteps, started going in caves, and that sort of developed. We started renting stuff from caving shops, and then I think we bought some stuff, and we used to come and just go into caves. And there's a big one up here, I can remember, there's one called Manchester Hole. Is it Goyden Pot? Spent an entire evening exploring one of them. You needed ladders and ropes, but you could go for about an hour until you got to the first bit that needed ladders and ropes. So that's what we did. Can't believe it. I've come all this way, barely seen a car, and then when I get on this most scenic little drive, I get stuck behind a car. So yeah, behind us is, as I say, I think Harewood Reservoir. Then is it the River Nid here? The valley. It's the river, and further up where we're going is Scar House and then Angram. I think I remember from the caves, sometimes they let water out of Scar House, and I think that's one thing you have to be aware of, because I think both the caves in this valley they flood. Especially if somebody turns the taps on at Scar House Reservoir. Native beef and lamb for sale. Tables there, that'd be nice. Good place to park, have a picnic. I think it's round about here where the Goyden Pot and the Manchester Hole were. There's plenty of places to put. Looks like an old railway. Tunnel there. there must be farms down in there's farms in the valley. Summer Stone Estate. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. I am on my 21-day challenge to try and get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. That's going to be subject of a separate video today. But I am going to, in an effort to get the channel monetised, if that's possible. If it isn't, I'm not bothered, but if it is, I'd like to do it. So in an effort to get the channel monetised, I'm going to try and post a few more videos. So, got my journey up, I'm going to go for a walk with the dog, and then there'll be the journey back. So, fingers crossed, there should be, if the battery on the phone holds up, there should be three videos today, which will be out over the next few days. Well, thanks for watching. If you did like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, because we're having a big drive in August. We want subscribers. Doesn't cost anything, and it would help me enormously to eventually, my dream would be to make this my sort of be retired, but my little job in retirement would be making videos of interesting places while ever I'm fit enough to do it. But as I say, I'll talk more about that in the challenge video later. But for now, as I think we're approaching Scar House, which you can just now see in the distance. I'll say thanks for watching, and until the next time, cheerio.